welcome to Sandos Garage. I'm going to get this YouTube channel fired up and going again. It's been a long time, but I've got a new slot car track I've been building. I began the hobby probably 6 months ago and started building into it, and I'm about to show you the process. Well, way back in the MDF stage, I used 9mm MDF with a 6mm groove and a 3mm router piece. I used my Ryobi edge trimmer and a bit of jigsaw work and a few jigs I made and created this racetrack. It's a fictional racetrack, partly based on a bit of a street circuit, partly based on Bathurst, Mount Panorama, with a small portion of Daytona at the banked oval. It's been a long build. It's been a fun build. The little jigs I used to create the grooves, and I used the racing line as opposed to the traditional two-lane racing. And these are some of the pictures of the process along the way. Took me a while to establish the grey I wanted. I started with a dark grey colour, which was almost like a tarmac colour, and then worked my way down to a more traditional concrete street circuit colour for the street circuit portion. Took a while to get this, added a few patches of road as if tar replacement or potholes, and gradually got to a portion where I liked the colour. There's the oval part, and then worked it right around to the street circuit portion, a bit of a hairpin and 90-degree corner, and then onto the pit straight. The track is 14.6 meters long. It's deceiving considering the room's only 3.5 by 2.5, but it's amazing how much, with a routed track, how much you can fit in. This part is the Bathurst part over the top of the mountain. There's the cutting up through Reed Park, up to McPhillamy Park, and then down through the Dipper. So I started with a dark grey colour. Wasn't happy with it, it was too dark. The cars looked kind of weird. And then gradually coloured it down and kept colouring it down until I could get a lighter grey, which worked with the room environment, the temperature of the lights. And it's probably got about 4 or 5 coats on it, to be honest. And this is the colour I settled on. Slightly lighter grey. It looks different in person. There's the street circuit portion. And it came up quite well. I used some paint pens to get the line markings. I'll show you that a bit later on. And then dry brush for the sort of the weathering, the tyre marks. And I'll give you a small sample of how I did that. I used the copper tape. It's 5mm copper tape, and there's a test piece there I was just using with a corner that's approximately 6 inches, the tightest portion on this track. And once I got all the copper tape down, it took about 6 hours to do. Very fiddly. Obviously, if you pull it too tight, it easily tears, just like a piece of foil. But I'm pretty happy with it. And here's the dry brush. I just used, as an example, you get some black paint, then brush it down until you can get most of that paint off, and then just a simple dry brush over your racing lines, over the chicanes, and pretty effective method. It actually looks like tyres when you see it, and really simple to do as opposed to using an airbrush. These are the Posca paint pens I used on this layout. Variation of colours. You can buy all these colours at Officeworks here in Australia. Very effective, all different sizes. The thicker one there was approximately 6mm, the thinner one probably 2 to 3mm. Great for the lines. I just used a ruler use the masking tape for the ripple strips, and it's just a matter of measuring it up, colouring it in basically, letting it dry, and it's good to go. The road markings come up quite well, and then with the dry brush over the top actually makes the ripple strips look quite effective. Yeah, any different colour you want, any size, millimetre, head tip you want, and just go from there. It's kind of limitless really. Well, that's my track for the moment. More to come, obviously fences to add, the cars to run, the power supply to use, and how I wide it all up.